Hi, and welcome to another episode of Real Raw Talk, where we keep it 100. I'm your host, Vanetta Farai, and this is my co-host, Michael.
Zen Michael D. And
I'm Kristen Willard.
I'm Tristan Trotter.
Okay, so today's topic is the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame and what that means, okay? So basically, your soulmate can actually be male or female, and it can be people that you meet, meaning that you meet them for a certain reason in life. But everybody's looking for the soulmate, the twin flame, otherwise known as the one. And so I'll just open it up and start with you, Michael. Like, what's your take? Do you believe in soulmates, or do you believe that there's a person that was created just for you to connect with in this lifetime?
wow. You know what? I don't want to really play that game, the soulmate game. I mean, it's fun. You know, you're trying to pick up somebody's girl, like, hey, you're my soulmate. Hey, baby, what's up? Other than that, you're like, right. What you got to say about it?
I don't do this. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think that I really give into that game either. Like, I'm not really super like, oh, this is my soulmate type of thing. It's just kind of like if I connect, I feel like I connect with a lot of people. Like how you said it could be female or male. I feel like literally anyone that kind of comes into your life, maybe not anyone, but I feel like anyone that you make a connection with or a relationship with, it's for a reason.
So you don't believe that there's somebody that's destined just for you to be with you?
Now that question I feel like is a little different for some reason, and I kind of do feel like there is someone out there that's supposed to be specifically for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about it, Tristan?
No, I don't think that there is one person specifically for you. There are multiple people who can fit you. Your personality, your traits, everything. There's how many people are on the planet?
Billions.
Billions.
Yes.
Right.
There's many matches out there. That's my take.
I think soulmate is something we play with.
It's fun.
Right?
It's
to connect or to have a conversation.
Right.
Know? But other than that, I mean, because when we talk about soulmate, we're talking about, okay, we have this is the one. And I don't know if that's
so you seem to think that the norm is that all of you guys think it's like a fantasy, like maybe just something that sounds good, airy-fairy type thing, like
I think people do, like especially when they go into like zodiac signs and astrology. It's like, so what are you? I even had this one lady. We were vibing. Sometimes I work for Uber, and I picked up this young lady. We were vibing, like conversation on 10. And she was like, so what's your sign? I'm like, Gemini. She's like, oh. Like the rapport was broken. Like, for real. But she's putting too much effort. I think people put too much effort in that stuff. It's just fun to me.
Yeah. That's interesting, because there's so many people, they do so much for love. And so they have it fixated in their mind that this is the one. Okay, I ran a guy away like that years ago. I had this dream. And you know how you have this vivid dream, it was very vivid, the ones that you actually remember, okay? And I couldn't see his face, but I saw the figure of him, okay? And I met this guy who just happened to be a doctor. Okay, so we know that he's making some real money. We just happen to be the same age, okay? And I was actually 3 months older than him, okay? So anyway, what happened was I found myself wishing that he was a plumber, so that he would know that I liked him for him and not just because of his status. But I really ran him away because I thought he was the man of my dreams, because I had this dream about this guy, and he had a big house and a beautiful yard. So when I met this person, I was like, this is my soulmate.
So did you put extra attention on him?
I put extra attention, and I ran him away. I literally chased him away, because we were talking earlier about, the rules of dating. And so let me just pop that out, since we're talking about soulmates and the one. Does it matter if you call somebody? Does it matter who calls or who texts first? Or is that a big deal? If you're in a relationship, is that a big deal to you? What do you think? What do you think?
I wouldn't say. I don't think. See, I feel like that's tricky because I feel like that's when you get into like the games and stuff like that when it's like, oh, I'm gonna wait.
Right.
But I feel like you have to have like a good like rationality behind like why you might not hit someone up. But I feel like it's important just to do what you feel. Like if you think about someone like, hey, like just check in, whoever it is, the male or the female. I feel like it's important not to be so like, oh, I can't do this first. I'm gonna look thirsty or I'm gonna look whatever. And I feel like that speaks about your own personal insecurity or your own personal reflection, projection or whatever that you're putting out there when you're just like having those like reservations for whatever reason.
But doesn't everybody play games? See, that's the problem. Everybody plays games.
Right.
There's all this game playing going on all the time. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Michael?
I don't know, everybody. But I'll say some people probably.
Most of the people.
A lot of people,
Let's say most.
95%.
I guess the question is, why do people play games?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I feel like it's insecure. I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like, I'll speak for myself. Like I know that I have insecurities. And so I think that in relationships or whatever, like I've definitely grown in the area. But I think once, especially as I got older, I feel like I was more like, okay, I don't have time to like beat around the bush about stuff. I just need to know, like, let's just put everything out there right now so that we can work up from here. Obviously, there's gonna be more and more stuff that comes out along the way, but it's just like, let's not like play the little like beat around the bush thing or like, like let's not try to like play the, hey, the petty stuff. The petty stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just, it's too much that I want to accomplish personally to like dwell on that.
Well, let me ask you this, Tristan. Let me ask you this. So let's say this young lady, you started dating her and you were like really into her and you were vibing, like you said, okay? And then she just started like calling you a little bit too much, or maybe you felt like your space was being invaded. Would that be like a major, would she seem thirsty, or like what Kristen was saying, would she seem desperate to you, or would she seem like, do you feel like you want to be the one to be able to pursue her, or or is there a balance? What's your take on that?
Yeah, there's gray areas, like a spectrum.
Okay.
I like when women go out of their way to contact me, and it's just them reaching out. I like that. Shows that they're interested, shows that they have something to say, they're opinionated, and they're not afraid to speak up. I like that. If for some reason it was annoying for me for her to do that, I would have to check on am I not providing something for her? Did I not do something? Is there something that I have done to make her feel like insecure where she needs to keep contact me? If not, and she's just doing that and I'm annoyed, then I might say, hey, like, that's a tough situation. But because I've never done it and that's never happened to me, but I would probably say, like, can you give me my space in some way that's not so direct?
A woman's favorite word. Right, a woman's favorite phrase. Can you give me my space? That's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
It's just like,
But it's real. It's real.
Well, what do you think, Michael? Do you think that the woman would appear just a little too needy if she's like, calling you all the time, or are you okay with that? I mean,
I think that it depends on who the woman is, because if there's a connection and she calls me a lot, then it's not too much. I think we only say it's too much because we're not really interested in that person.
Exactly.
It's weird how it happens. It's only too much when you're not really interested in that person. Somebody you care about, you like, I can't get enough you calling me. I was just thinking about you, baby. I was just thinking about you. Wow. I'm checking it 3 or 4 times. So it's weird when we play that game. Like you call too much, and it's just you're just not interested in the first place. So that's just keeping it real.
I think that's interesting that you should bring that up, because a lot of times men feel like they need to say I love you, but sometimes they'll say I love you and they don't really mean it. They say it for different reasons. So can you guys give me some examples of why men would tell a woman that that they love them and they're not sincere about that?
You already know.
Is it just one reason? Is it just that one reason though? Is it just that, really?
I can think there's other reasons, of course.
Right. I didn't go there.
All I said, you already know. You got to fill in the blanks.
Tristan steered clear of that.
It means I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. It could even mean like a makeup thing. Like maybe she did something that I wasn't so happy about, but I've forgiven her for it. I could say, I love you, no matter what. I forgive you as well.
That's what it means for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I can agree with that as far as I appreciate you or I care about you. But then, like I said, I've always had like times where, or I've had moments where people have said it to me where I just felt like it was a little empty, even if I know that they might love me as a person, but it's like maybe they said it so many times or they kind of throw it out there a lot. And I don't know if it's me or them, but I just kind of take it as like, okay, like, what is that? I almost want to ask them like, why, or what does that mean? Because I feel like I'm not getting anything from it, any substance, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've kind of had those empty moments with that whole phrase, but.
Okay. What about you?
Okay, so from a romantic standpoint, since we're talking about soulmates and twin flames,
right.
For me, it's a deep emotional connection. It's a feeling. I'm feeling them.
Okay.
From a deep level. Yeah.
You notice how different it is, though?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From appreciation to something really deep and connecting, really meaningful.
What does it mean to you?
I love you is a word that I say to my brothers, and I say to people I just met. It's more like appreciation. I think it's more appreciation. Instead of saying I appreciate you, I can say I love you. Those interchangeable.
Well, I'm talking about from a relationship perspective.
Well, I think that word is manipulative when you say I love you, because I have an agenda.
So it's not authentic. Then it's not authentic.
It's more like,
yeah.
I love you. And I love you so much. You can see how crazy that is?
Yeah, right.
I love you so much.
So why are you saying it if you don't mean it then, Michael? Michael, why are you saying it if you don't mean it though?
I'm saying because I mean it, but it's what it is that I love you, but it has something that is rooted in as far as like special. I love you. Mm-hmm. You are this. And it has expectation. It has strings attached.
Okay.
It has strings attached because now you said that word, and I think you said it earlier. You heard people say "I love you," mm-hmm. and you tell it wasn't real. It was they were trying to manipulate in a certain way to get something from you. Mm-hmm. And I love what you said about "I love you." It's like it's something that's really meaningful.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, "I love you" can be a dismissive thing, like just be quiet. Yeah, I love you, like kind of dismissing that person in a way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're gonna move on. So what I was trying to open up with is that there are a lot of unhealthy relationships. For example, let's take a young woman, okay? Let's say she's been with this guy let's say she's around 24 years old, okay? Mm-hmm. She's been with this guy since like high school, okay? So, of course, she's used to him, she's accustomed to him. He doesn't necessarily treat her like she should really be treated. He doesn't know her worth, okay? She might be buying this person. She might pay for all the dates. She might even pay the rent. She might pay for every single thing. She might just cater to him on every turn because she doesn't want to lose this love. Mm-hmm. So there's that unhealthy love where this person doesn't realize how worthy she really is because she's built it up in her mind that she's just got to be like subservient to this person to keep his love. And this is the only way to hold his love. And you have people out there that are doing this all the time. That is not your soulmate. That is not your twin flame because that's not healthy. Mm-hmm. Now that could be, let me reiterate, that could be your soulmate because sometimes you need those bad relationships to get you to the better ones. Mm-hmm. But you got to move beyond that. So that's what I meant, that, the season and the reason. And, you have something to say.
No, I agree with you.
Okay,
I agree with you saying is that we talk about soulmate. If soulmate is a word that exists, it's probably someone who can teach you on a level, on a deeper level. And it's not always forever and always. It can be a lesson, like you said, that you needed to learn a lesson so you go to the next level.
Right.
Or they lead you toward the one you should be with.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then we have people hooking up for different reasons, like let's talk a little bit about the sugar daddies or the cougars or the trophies. It's like you want to take me out to show me off to your friends, but you're just looking at my whole physical, and you're not into anything as to who I am as the core, and then that will lead us to values. But what's your take on that? So let's do another role playing like Michael does. I'm going to do it this time, Kristen. Okay. So let's say that you're 3 months behind on your rent, okay? And you're out here in California, and you don't have any family at all. And you're on your own, and you just ran into some hard times. You just lost your job. And then there's this Pops that lives down the street, and he's been eyeing you. You're a sweet little young thing to him, And he's like, let's say, old enough to be almost your grandfather, okay? But he's got a pile of money, and he's like, you know what, honey, you can just move on in with me. I'll take care of everything. I'll even give you like a $10,000 a month allowance. Keeping it real and raw, would you go for it?
No.
What would you do? Would you be homeless?
I don't know. I would figure out a different way. I just know that I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. That's just me. I'm just saying, I can't answer from a general perspective. I can get why someone might make that choice. It's the easy choice to make if you don't have I get you have to get your basic needs met. I know that some people go whatever it takes to get their basic needs met. So I get that. But I'm just saying I would have to exhaust my options to be able to end up going to that level, and then it would have to be what is this? Is this an exchange for something? Right. Because I feel anything that you get.
Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be an exchange.
Right, exactly.
And you know what that exchange is.
Right, exactly. And I'm not willing to get. I'm not. No, I just couldn't, because I just feel there's so much. I just feel the value, and it goes back to the money situation, where it's that's why money is just so it just can bring out the worst in people, because it makes you literally give yourself up for money.
Yeah.
And I feel that's such a deep topic. That's a way it's a whole other topic. But I just feel that's what I would equate that to. I'm literally not feeling I'm valuable enough to be able to figure this out on my own, to where I'm still trusting, or kind of giving myself the value that I deserve, the worth that I deserve.
And what about you, Tristan? Same scenario. You're broke, you're down on your luck, you're 6 months behind in your rent. They're gonna kick you out any day. The sheriff's gonna lock you out with all your stuff in tow. Old lady over here, cougar mama, she's eyeing you. She's like, come on, sweetie, come on.
Yeah, it's no. No, I wouldn't do that. I would like to play around with the imagination of doing that.
I want you to really think about this for a minute. You're hungry. You hadn't eaten in 4 days.
That's good.
And
I haven't eaten in 4 days.
Yeah, you got no gas in your car. Matter of fact, the car's broken down.
There you go.
She looking real good right now. She looking real good right now.
Come on, I got you, baby.
It might not be so bad.
I got you.
Right, all you gotta do is.
So I think that, and we're being really
Something
real,
strange.
when stuff really hit the fan, we really get tested. So it's easy to say right now what you won't do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But when you're out there, and there's probably somebody moving to California, there's probably some young lady, some guy out there right now who was desperate. Now, I guess we need to talk about the fact is, how do one not get themselves in a position? How should one be so they don't find themselves being manipulated by someone because they have money? Are you willing to sell yourself for money, trade yourself for money? That's what's interesting thing to talk about.
Well, this is what I wanted to say. You don't necessarily. I just put it to them in a desperate situation, because it would be interesting to see, your answers, because you can't get into those situations. But you have the situations of, you've heard of it, you're in the business, the casting couch. The casting couch has been around since the beginning of film, right? And it will continue to be around. They said it's worse in the music business, okay? So, and there are people that will just do anything.
So we have somebody in the news right now that they're talking about that people who wasn't stars at first will allow themselves to be subject to a certain thing because of that person. You ask yourself, why would they do that? Because you said they might want that job.
Exactly.
They might make their dreams come true.
Exactly.
That extra opportunity. Go ahead.
So my question to you guys is, does that make them any different than the woman, standing on the street corner? Is there a difference?
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
I would say no. It seems as if it is the same.
You're being bought. You're being bought.
You're being bought. yeah, you're being bought. You're doing something for money, yeah, okay. Let me stop there.
So go ahead.
Oh no, that wasn't. I was.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about values. So your twin flame is the person that you have the same value system.
Definitely.
It's just like, for example, I'm like you. You know, I'm just not going to be bought for anything. It's just like, you know, sometimes, like I have friends that's all they do, okay? And they'll tell me, like I had this guy who was like multi-millionaire. He was old enough to be my grandfather, you know. He happened to be, didn't look like me, if you know what I mean, okay?
Okay.
And it was like, and she was telling me that, you know, Vanetta, you know, you could have like an allowance of like $7,000 a month. So my antennas did start going up, you know. I'm like, let me think about this. You know, I could be sitting here on Easy Street, and then we have the elder women will tell us all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. What? So what if he's short? So what if he's fat? So what? So what? He's got money.
Right.
You know, and it's like, you know, what's love got to do with it? You know.
Yeah, I've gotten that before too. Yeah. Where they're like, oh, like just like you don't have to like him, just you know.
They'll tell you that in a minute. Exactly.
Like, no,
Exactly. So it's like, can you wrap it up with the value system? Because that's the twin flame. You have the same values. You think alike. You get along. You click. You vibe. For me, for everybody, it's different reasons. What's the major thing? And so I'll do your little questionnaire, Michael. It's like, let me ask each of you the question. What's the one major thing, or you can just do two major things, that will connect you to a person that you will really vibe to this person? And they could, you know, what are the two major features for you? It could be inside or you know.
Yes.
I feel like I have three.
Okay.
So
3 is fine.
I just thought about one. If this
Okay.
I don't know if this answers the question, but
Okay.
I for sure know honesty, their spiritual connection or, you know, beliefs, and humor.
Okay.
Humor.
Okay.
Humor. Is that what you're asking?
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good, because then you know
Those are the
that if you
things
meet
that-
somebody like that, they could potentially be your twin flame. That's the difference. And then what do you think, Michael? What is it for you?
It would be it's a soul connection, and it's kind of hard to explain because it's something that is a recognition. I remember some people that I meet. It feels like I've already know them, and it's a connection. And for whatever reason, it just it's something there that's familiar, and I can't explain it.
Oh, that's true.
What about you, Tristan?
Yeah, I would say that as well.
Yeah.
Integrity and respect.
Okay. And so for me, it's the number one is the spiritual connection. There has to be that, because for me, that's the main ingredient. And if you don't have that, everything else is going to fall apart, because you got to have those same kind of values. You know what I mean? So it's different things to different people, but you don't have to settle. You know, if you're uncomfortable, like if you get this queasiness in your stomach and you know that, oh, what did I just do? And you've got to turn around and wash your hair and take a shower and look at yourself in the mirror and it's like, what did I just do? Then you know that that's not the one. So it's kind of a fantasy thing. It can be considered to be a fantasy, but I think that it does exist and that you can have that right connection if you don't settle for anything less. So with that being said, we're going to conclude this segment. And again, thank you so much for watching. And if no one has told you they love you today, we love you.